Welcome to the Orchid Advisors Compliance Training Series, Export Controls, Brokering under the ITAR. Who is subject to the brokering regulations? A broker is any person who engages in brokering activities and can be any of the following: any U.S. person, no matter where located; a foreign person located in the U.S.; any foreign person located outside the U.S., where the foreign person is owned or controlled by a U.S. person. Owned by a U.S. person means more than 50% of the outstanding voting securities of the firm are owned by a U.S. person. Controlled by a U.S. person means one or more U.S. persons have authority or ability to establish or direct the general policies or day-to-day operations of the firm. U.S. person control is presumed, but can be rebutted, to exist where U.S. persons own 25% or more of the outstanding voting securities, unless one foreign person controls an equal or larger percentage. Brokering activities is defined as any action on behalf of another to facilitate the manufacture, export, permanent import, transfer, re-export, or retransfer of a U.S. or foreign defense article or defense service, regardless of its origin. To be considered engaged in the business of brokering activities, there need be only one occasion of brokering. The following list illustrates examples of what are brokering activities: financing, insuring, transporting, or freight forwarding defense articles and defense services; soliciting, promoting, negotiating, contracting for, arranging, or otherwise assisting in the purchase, sale, transfer, loan, or lease of a defense article or defense service. The following list illustrates examples of what are not brokering activities, unless it involves a country listed in Section 126.1, in which case DDTC approval is required. Activities by a U.S. person in the United States limited to U.S. domestic sales or transfers, not for export. Activities by regular employees. Activities that do not extend beyond administrative services. Translation services. Preparing response to a request for proposal. Promoting goodwill at trade shows. Activities by an affiliate controlled or controlled by registrant. Activities by end user or re-exporter of lawfully exported article or service. Activities by an attorney not extending beyond the provisions of legal advice to clients. Registering as a broker. Registration is a precondition to receiving approval for brokering activities. However, a separate broker registration and fee are not required for U.S. manufacturers or exporters registered with DDTC, pursuant to ITAR Part 122. In addition, U.S. manufacturers and exporter registrants may include foreign subsidiaries and broker affiliates on their registration statement when more than 50% of the sub is owned by the registrant, or the subsidiary and affiliate is otherwise controlled by the registrant. Affiliate is a new term that means a person that directly or indirectly, through one or more intermediaries, controls or is controlled by, or is under common control with, such registrant. Control means having the authority or ability to establish or direct the general policies or day-to-day operations of the firm. Control is presumed, but can be rebutted, to exist where there is ownership of 25% or more of the outstanding voting securities if no other person controls an equal or larger percentage. A note of caution when including foreign broker affiliates: the registrant is required to certify at the time of registering as to whether any of the entities identified on the registration statement, including the registrant, its parent, subsidiary, or other affiliate, or any officer or official, partner, member, or director of any of the listed entities, including listed affiliates, has ever been indicted, charged, or convicted of violating any of the criminal statutes listed in ITAR Section 120.27, or violating a foreign criminal law on exportation of defense articles, where conviction carries a minimum sentence of more than 1 year in prison. The list of statutes in Section 120.27 has been expanded and should be reviewed carefully to ensure accuracy of registration transmittal letters. In terms of operations, U.S. companies who are thinking of adding foreign broker affiliates to their registration statement must incorporate procedures to adequately address the continued due diligence requirement. Persons required to register must still submit annual reports of brokering activities, but rather than submitting them each January, they must be submitted along with the annual registration renewal. If no brokering activities occurred, the report must nevertheless be filed and state that no activities occurred. Broker license requirement. DDTC approval is required to broker any one of the following: foreign defense article or service, or U.S. origin defense articles or services classified on the USML in certain categories, specified in Section 129.4A2. Of note, firearms and silencers listed in U.S. Munitions List Category 1 are included, but not parts or components, including barrels and receivers. Other categories are listed, so you should consult Section 129.4A2 to see if a license is required for a proposed brokering activity. Broker license exemptions. DDTC approval is not required to broker pursuant to contract between the broker and the U.S. government, as long as one of the following is true. The defense articles or defense service is solely for use by that agency, or the brokering activities are undertaken for carrying out foreign assistance or sales subject to control by the President. In this instance, either the contract must explicitly state the contract is in support of a foreign assistance or sales program authorized by law, and the government agency has established control of the activity equal to DDTC control under the ITAR, or DDTC provides written concurrence that the condition is met. Brokering activities involving a foreign defense article or defense service are exempt when arranged wholly within NATO, Australia, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, or South Korea. This is the NATO +5 exemption. However, brokering a U.S. origin defense article or defense service listed in 129.4A2 is not qualified for the NATO +5 exemption. Consequently, brokering activities that include firearms or silencers listed in Category 1 will still require a license, even when arranged wholly within NATO, Australia, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, or South Korea. Conversely, brokering firearm parts or components, if arranged wholly within the NATO +5, may indeed qualify for a license exemption. But remember, exemptions cannot be utilized when the broker is not registered or is ineligible under the ITAR. An ineligible person has a direct or indirect interest in, or may benefit from, the brokering activities, including any related defense article or service transaction, or the activity involves ITAR Section 126.1 countries. Brokering red flags. Exercise caution when brokering the following types of transactions, and be sure to undertake due diligence before undertaking any brokering activity. Cash deals. No source or manufacturer information. Delivery to post office box. Introduction of additional intermediaries not previously known or listed on prior approval. Thank you for watching this segment of our video training series. Viewers are encouraged to seek professional advice prior to assessment, implementation, or execution.